Waller was back to her old tricks, and this time, she was hell-bent on isekaiing herself into another dimension. As the portal is opened, the scientists cautioned her that the energy levels were insufficient to maintain it. Unfazed, Amanda dismissed their concerns and commanded them to crank up the power. The scientists exchanged nervous glances, worried about the strain on their human portal key, but Amanda saw the girl as nothing more than a means to an end. Joker and Harley, intrigued by the truck-free isekai opportunity, wasted no time heading towards it. They envisioned the chaos they could unleash with an overpowered ability. But Harley, always spontaneous, suggested they pause for drinks first, believing adventures were better embarked upon while tipsy. Upon entering a bar, however, she sensed an unusual calmness. Even after a flashy display with stolen cash, she sensed something was amiss. Approaching the bar, she inquired about Kay, only to be told they were out sick. Knowing Kay didn't exist, Harley realized it was a setup. As chaos erupted inside the bar, Harley warned Joker to stay clear for safety. Meanwhile, Amanda struggled with her destabilizing portal, urging technicians to increase power output. Amid the ongoing bar brawl, Joker made a daring move, driving his car into the building to rescue Harley. Amanda's military defenses swiftly responded, launching missiles that forced Joker to retreat. Harley eventually fled the bar, seeking refuge on a nearby rooftop. As she attempted to contact Joker for extraction, she found herself confronted by a samurai wielding a blade. As the attacker leaped down towards Harley, she initially defended herself with a baseball bat, but soon found herself disarmed. Forced to evade the samurai's sword strikes, Harley fled until she managed to grab a metal pipe. However, the improvised weapon proved ineffective, and she ended up on the ground with the sword pointed at her. Rather than attacking, the samurai used the hilt of her sword to render Harley unconscious. Taken into custody, Harley felt relief upon learning that the soldiers couldn't locate Joker. Despite being determined to escape and reunite with Joker someday, that day wasn't today as she slipped into unconsciousness once more. Meanwhile, Amanda's portal reached critical status and exploded. It finally opened. Achieving her objective, Amanda ruthlessly eliminated the entire team of scientists. 6 months later, she found herself at an isolated base, gathering reluctant volunteers for her iSky project. The facility housed captured supervillains from over the years. The prison warden attempted to dissuade Amanda from using these dangerous individuals, warning of potential consequences if things went awry. Amanda silenced him by revealing she had access to his Discord chat logs, coercing compliance with her demands. The warden reluctantly unlocks Harley's cell. Inside, Harley seems surprisingly comfortable with pizza and a television, almost like she's in a Norwegian spa. Amanda switches off the TV abruptly and orders Harley out, explaining she has a job for her. Despite Harley's reluctance, the guns pointed her way leave little choice, so she starts to comply. Before leaving, the warden reminds Harley of their deal. He'd fulfill her requests in exchange for something called the Gluck Gluck 9000, but Harley dismisses him with a swift kick and a declaration that she'd only do such a thing for Joker. In response, she's promptly tased and escorted out. Meanwhile, as the warden nurses his injured pride, Amanda urges him to hurry, insisting there are more prisoners to release. He protests her plan to recruit dangerous criminals for her mission, calling her insane, to which Amanda simply acknowledges that she's always been a bit crazy. After Amanda is done, Harley and several other prisoners are sent through the portal. When Harley regains consciousness, she finds herself handcuffed to a bench. A nearby guy asks if she's awake, but Harley's disappointment sets in when she realizes it's not Joker's voice she's hearing. The guy complains about having to team up with what he calls a crazy girl, drawing criticism from another prisoner across from him who defends Harley's dignity. He assumes they should recognize him, claiming he's a famous movie star, though Harley finds him attractive despite not knowing who he is. Next to the movie star sits a man with a potato sack over his head. When asked about it, he explains it's to hide his supposedly ugly face, emphasizing his mission for peace. Once everyone on the team had gotten to know each other, their leader entered and informed them they would soon reach their destination. Playing a message from Amanda, he revealed their mission: to establish and defend bridgeheads critical for exploring and exploiting uncharted territories. It was a daunting task, leaving the team questioning why they should follow Amanda's orders in the first place. Their skepticism was quickly answered when Amanda's voice on the recording explained that each of them had explosive devices implanted in their necks. These devices could be triggered if they disobeyed orders, attempted escape, or even angered her, ensuring compliance under threat of immediate consequences. Even under the threat of exploding, Deadshot remains defiant against Amanda's orders. She strikes a nerve by mentioning his daughter, threatening to harm her if he doesn't comply. Furious, Deadshot vows vengeance if Amanda even thinks about touching his daughter, but she reassures him that won't be necessary as long as he obeys. With the mission clarified, their agent directs the team's attention to crates containing their gear at the rear of the plane. He promises to remove their handcuffs so they can change into their equipment. Before they can proceed, Harley raises the question about the missing fifth member. The agent begins to respond, but suddenly the plane lurches violently. The pilots have been killed, causing the aircraft to crash land amidst a fantastical battle scene. Confused knights surround them, unaware of what's happening. After surviving the crash landing, Harley discovers that their agent didn't make it. Indifferent to his death, she uses a sword stuck in the plane to free herself and ventures outside to assess their situation. Stepping onto the ground, she nearly falls to her death, but is saved in the nick of time by Deadshot. While the others free themselves, Pretty Boy attempts to open the stuck door on the opposite side of the plane. Using his transformed hand, he smashes through the barrier, revealing his metahuman abilities, a surprise to the team, explaining why he had a specialized restraint. Exiting the plane, they are bewildered by the unfamiliar world around them, prompting doubts about its reality. They turn to Potato Sack Guy, who believed in a mission of peace, hoping he might have answers, but he is as clueless as they are. As they watch a knight being brutally attacked by orcs nearby, the team, being human like the knight, also becomes a target of the orcs' aggression. Harley, unable to comprehend the orcs' language, relies on Pretty Boy to explain they're outsiders and not involved in their conflict. However, the orcs misunderstand and immediately try to attack Pretty Boy, their murderous intent and foul odor confirming the grim reality of their situation. While some still struggle to accept the reality of their predicament, Harley is thrilled this chaotic adventure is exactly what she craved. Suddenly, King Shark bursts out of the helicopter wreckage, swiftly dispatching the orcs. Meanwhile, Harley joins the fray, taking down as many orcs as she can. Potato Sack Guy, known as Peacemaker, surprises everyone with his fierce combat skills, driven by his unusual obsession with peace. Pretty Boy, disliking the orc's stench, attempts to flee but realizes escape isn't an option. Transforming into Clayface, he prepares to battle the orcs head-on. In the midst of chaos, Deadshot retrieves his equipment and begins shooting down the orcs one by one. However, there are too many of them, so he decides to target their leader directly. He attempts to line up a shot, but finds some of the leader's guards in the way. Getting creative, he leaps into the air, gaining a clear shot, and takes out the leader with a precise bullet between the eyes. With their leader dead, the orcs flee in terror. After the battle, the knight's army arrives to assess the situation. Clayface, upon seeing them, deduces they have been transported to a fantasy world and assumes they will be treated as summoned heroes. Contrary to his expectations, they are imprisoned instead. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for upcoming episodes. Cheers.